Hello YouTube community, I'm back with another great video, and in this video series we're going to break down some of the top headlines for tech news this week. If you like this type of content and you want me to turn this into a series, please let me know in the form of a comment below. Here are your headlines for this week. New emojis to come in iOS 17.4. Arcade streaming. iOS 18 features. Vision Pro VR headset. Are people finding ransomware solutions? Tesla autopilot recall. And Neuralink implanted a chip in a human. Without further ado, let's go over these news articles. On this first article from 9 to 5 Mac, they're letting us know that there's some new emojis on the way. They're coming in iOS 17.4. For sure, there's at least 6 new emojis. We have a phoenix, we have a broken chain link, we have a mushroom, we have a smiley with their eyes closed, nodding up and down, and a smiley with their eyes closed, shaking their head left to right, and a lime. And in addition, we're going to have a change in direction for over 100 existing emoji characters. So it looks like for the most part, there's going to be all sorts of new emojis to look out for. So that's very exciting news, and I'm looking forward to that. Also, as a reminder, World Emoji Day is set for July 17th. So mark that on your calendar and make sure you blow up your social media accounts with some emojis on that day to celebrate Emoji Day. On this next article, we're talking about Apple possibly turning arcade into a streaming game service. Apple announced a complete 180 on its App Store ban on streaming game services. This change is immediate, global, and seemingly not directly a result of the DMA. So why the sudden change of heart? Well, they're probably looking at all these other game streaming platforms and seeing their success and seeing that they're being very profitable, and they probably want a piece of the pie. They're just speculating that what if Apple is planning to turn arcade into a streaming game service, allowing game streaming apps for Xbox and Nvidia services before making the change to arcade would be wise. So maybe they're doing the 180 on banning game streaming services from their platform because they in the future plan to do some sort of streaming of games themselves. So that's what the author is speculating. Also, I did want to briefly mention that Arcade did receive a price increase from $4.99 to $6.99 per month, and the company cited a much larger catalog than when it was introduced in 2019. Arcade Plus could be a higher tier subscription if Apple wanted to charge more for streaming. So again, this is just speculation on the part of the author, but this is coming from the 180 that they're doing from lifting the ban of game streaming apps from their platforms. That might be something good to look for in the future. Moving on to Apple's iOS 18 may be the biggest software update in iPhone history. Well, the two biggest takeaway from this article is that AI is coming to iOS in all sorts of forms. Herman has previously reported that Apple is planning to launch a new version of Siri that leverages a new AI system. Apple is also expected to launch new features that improve both Siri and the Messages app can auto-complete sentences and field questions. Plus, Apple Music is expected to get an auto-generated playlist, which is something that Spotify introduced last year. Apple is said to be looking at integrating generative AI into development tools like Xcode to allow developers to write new applications faster. In addition, Apple's productivity apps like Pages and Keynote should also be getting generative AI updates. Exciting news to know that AI is going to be implemented in all sorts of components of the iOS system. Other big takeaway from this big update is going to be that iOS is now going to support RCS. And if you're not familiar with RCS, it's like the iMessage version of Android. So it's going to have more interactive conversations. It's going to be an overall better experience when communicating between an Android and an iPhone. A step up from SMS, which is just plain text. And you could do all sorts of things like reply to specific messages, play games, use emojis, share gifts, all sorts of things that you won't be able to do with regular SMS. It's worth noting though that although Apple plans to adopt RCS, it has confirmed that the messages sent from an Android user to an iPhone will still be displayed in green bubbles. I'm sorry, but the green bubbles are here to stay. Hopefully with RCS that changes the stigma behind the green bubbles, but the green bubbles are here to stay. Moving on to the Vision Pro headsets. Now these headsets are virtual reality headsets from Apple, and they are running about 3,499 a pop. So if and that's the price that they're starting at. Apparently, there's different models that could be a little bit higher in price. I'm not too sure on specs for these devices. I've never really been interested in VR goggles, to be honest, but they seem to be a trending topic. A lot of people are interested in this product, and that shows because Apple has already sold over 200,000 Vision Pro headsets. I'm curious if that's only in the US or if that's worldwide, but that's a lot of units being sold at that price. And if we see, pull up a calculator, because math has never been my main subject. Wow, my computer's going super slow. It took that long just to pull up the trigonometry. No, we don't want trigonometry, man. We don't want scientific calculator. We want the general. So pull up a calculator. 200,000 times 499. Apple is looking to rake in 699 million. No, that can't be right. 699 million. 699 million. Whoa. Somebody tell me I'm doing the math wrong here, because this is crazy. This is crazy. This is insane. All right, so it looks like there's a high demand. Looks like the author saying that they're flying off the shelves, but will this trend continue? It'll be interesting to know how this plays out in the end. But I know that there are some that already have some privacy concerns, and that is because they're saying that having one of these devices is equivalent to a head full of iPhones, 2 depth sensors, 6 microphones, and 12 cameras. It uses them continuously to track people and rooms in 3 dimensions, every hand gesture, eyeball flick, and couch cushion. Wow. So the author is basically saying that this device collects more data than any other personal device I've ever seen, and it makes sense because it has the most advanced technology out of most of the devices that are on the market right now. And the author is saying basically, I see a privacy mess waiting to happen. Among the new dilemmas flagged to me by privacy researchers is who gets access to the maps these devices build of our homes and the data about how we move our bodies. A Vision Pro could reveal much more than you realize. So if you are interested in buying one of these headsets, first, keep in mind the price. They're starting at $3,499. And 2, keep in mind the privacy concerns that may arise from purchasing such a device. So that's what's going on with the Vision Pro headsets. This is exactly what they look like. I'll show you some of the pictures. As far as design, Apple is solid when it comes to design. These actually look pretty cool, and even though I'm not interested in VR headsets, this kind of makes me a little interested. Moving on, growing number of ransomware victims are refusing to pay. Companies are now more adept at recovering from ransomware attacks, providing less incentives to pay the hackers, according to Coveware. And Coveware is a cybersecurity provider that helps companies fend off ransomware assaults. So they are, I guess, professionals in that regard. This is data that is being provided by Coveware. So apparently ransomware payment resolution rates are going down, and this is starting from Q1 of 2019 to Q4 of 2023, steadily decreasing over time. And also, this is another chart here provided by Coveware again, ransomware payments by quarter, and the dark blue line is average ransomware payment. As you can see, it shot up in the last year or so in 2023. But this has been a consistent issue, a prevalent issue in the technology world, as far as like technology professionals trying to address this issue and find solutions. But the victims have been across the board in every industry you could think of. But this dark blue line represents the average ransomware payment, and as you can see, it shot up in 2023 up until last quarter 4 of 2023. It dramatically decreased, and the light blue line that you're seeing right there is the medium ransomware payment, and that has been pretty consistent over time, and it looks like it's steadily increasing actually. So, one of the major takeaways from this is that this is still a big issue. People are still becoming victims of ransomware, but once they have been attacked, they are finding that they have solutions to mitigate their problem. Now, my advice to any ransomware victim is never pay the ransom. Why? Because maybe you'll be able to get your data back, but that won't stop them from selling the data online. So you're just making another way for them to make money off of you because they're already going to sell your data online, but then they also can make money off the ransom that they're asking of you. And I hope everybody stays safe. All right, so moving on. Tesla autopilot recall fix reportedly flops as driver claims it's a safety hazard. And looking into this, it looks like the issue was that well, actually, let's go to the NHTSA directly so you can see exactly what the issue is. So the NHTSA is actually the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and I pulled up the 2023 Tesla Model Y. Although this recall is affecting various models, this is the one that I pulled up to get their information. So if I go to recalls, I find autopilot controls insufficient to prevent misuse. This was published December 12, 2023. So the summary and the potential number of units affected around 2 million. Tesla is recalling 2012 to 2023 Model S, 2016 to 2023 Model X, 2017 to 2023 Model 3, 2020 to 2023 Model Y. Vehicles equipped with all versions of AutoSteer leading up to the version that contains the recall remedy. In certain circumstances, when AutoSteer is engaged, the prominence and scope of the feature's controls may not be sufficient to prevent the driver's misuse of the SAE Level 2 Advanced Driver Assistance feature. The remedy is an over-the-air update. Owner notification letters are expected to be mailed February 10, 2024. While driving a Tesla MYLR in heavy rain with traffic aware cruise control or TACC on, we experienced two front collision warnings in quick succession, causing the car to massively reduce speed, causing a car behind us to nearly hit us. I believe this is called phantom braking in the common parlance. I believe this is also an issue with the wiper system. We were driving about 55 miles per hour on a 2-lane road. It was raining hard and the wipers are set to auto. The wipers weren't working fast enough to clear the rain, and adjusting the wipers in the Tesla are not easy to change, requiring hitting the end of the left stalk, then scrolling left or right with the scroll wheel while looking at the screen. There was not another car in front of us, and TACC but not auto steer was on. All of a sudden, a loud alarm sound blared, a FCW appeared on the display, and the car slowed to about 35 miles an hour. It looks like it slowed down from 55 miles an hour to 35 miles an hour. So in an instant, it slowed down about 20 miles an hour. That's pretty significant. The car behind us got very close to hitting us. This happened again about 5 minutes later. It scared the bejesus out of us. This seems very dangerous. So if you have one of these Tesla models that I described and that's noted in the recall notification, please be extremely safe on the road for yourself, your family, your friends, and other people on the road. Apparently, there's some issues going on with the autopilot feature on these cars, and even with it not on, it still seemed to be an issue, as we saw in this complaint. Still sticking to the world of Elon Musk is saying that Neuralink has implanted a brain chip in a human, and the Wall Street Journal is actually asking me to sign in to see the full version of the story, but I haven't pulled up. Well, I'm just going to read a portion of it. I'm not going to read the full article. But Elon Musk said that the first human received a Neuralink brain implant, a potential milestone in the development of brain-computer interface technology that could one day help those suffering from debilitating conditions such as paralysis to interact with their surroundings. Musk tweeted late Monday that the patient had received the implant the prior day and was recovering well, suggesting that the surgery was completed successfully and that there was no serious technical problems. Musk didn't disclose details about the patient when Neuralink said last September that it was recruiting a trial participant. It said it was looking for someone suffering from quadriplegia. Musk added that initial results show promising neuron spike detection, suggesting further that the Neuralink device is detecting signals from individual neurons inside the brain, a potential advance that could decode a higher quality brain signal. Musk didn't say how many neurons the company's device is detecting. The company didn't provide detailed safety and efficacy data that would be needed to gauge the success of the implant. Neuralink basically is a quarter-sized chip with hair-like threads. It's highly invasive. It's placed in the cortex, so they actually make a hole in your skull and it sits flush with your skull. It's in human testing. It was founded in 2016 and it has a valuation of 3.5 billion. Hopefully, this is something that ends up working out and people are able to use this and regain some of the abilities that they didn't have before. This is given hope to people where they didn't have hope before. So I am really crossing my fingers and I hope that this works out for the best. There you have it. There's your tech news for the week. Please let me know what you guys think about these topics. Drop a comment. Let me know if you like this type of video format. If I should continue to do this in the future for you guys. If you enjoyed it or not, let me know. Please hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification. That way you get notified every time I upload a video. And thank you so much for watching. You guys be safe. Take care and God bless.